Sunday, it's 3 questions for me and 3 answers for you. Sounds good, doesn't it? Let's get to the first question, and it's a Gerann, it's a Gerann, it's a Gerann special. He's thinking. Question 1. Did you ever watch the TV series Sequest DSV? If you saw it or any glimpses of it, what do you think of it? From what I do remember of it, it's basically Star Trek in the ocean. And, you know, that's something that's never really been done. I mean, everyone thinks of, you know, space being the final frontier, which it is, but they never go to think of what's lying in our oceans. You know, what's lying in our own little universe within the sea. You know, or our own Milky Way on Earth, because that's what the sea is. It's kind of a concept that was done for Stingray in the 60s, because you had the idea of going into this unknown world where Troy Tempest is documenting and, you know, discovering new life beneath the ocean, you know. And, you know, that was something quite thought-provoking. From what I do remember, I remember one episode called The Depot, I think, where this one stranded, I suppose, sea fleet vessel, because it was somewhat similar to the Enterprise from what I remember. And there was this one group of kids that were on there, and you had one girl at 15 years young who was trying to be a mother to these kids who they had no idea what happened to their family. And there was some sort of illness going around on the ship where the only way to get this illness out of them was to have them laid up in a hospital bed, but with their feet pointing diagonally up so that the illness would actually exit through their toes. How I remember these details, even just the vaguest things, I don't know. But that's what I do remember. It wasn't that bad in terms of, you know, the way the series was. You know, we need something more like that. What is your top 3 Buried Alive matches that you have seen of all time? That's an interesting question. There's only a few that I have actually seen. I've seen one match, actually 2 of the Buried Alive. Actually, all 3 Buried Alive matches are, you know, is that of Undertaker being buried. I remember when it was Taker versus Mankind. I think it was at King of the Ring 96? I think. Don't hold me to that. And it almost looked like Taker was being dug out, was digging himself out at some stage. Second one I remember was Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at Rock Bottom 98, which also happened to be the main event. And it was for Austin to gain qualification for the 1999 Royal Rumble, and that was the only way he would get it in. And Austin won, courtesy of a stunner, and then using the forklift to bury the Taker. And then 2003, Vince McMahon versus the then Biker Undertaker, which is my favorite incarnation of the Undertaker, because it just seemed more genuine and I don't want to say believable, but it was something I could look at and think, you know what, I could actually get behind this gimmick, because he just seemed very natural and such an organic persona to be in, because he loves motorbikes, and to see him, you know, the way he was there, it was just like an evolution of the Undertaker character. Now, there are a lot of people that prefer the Deadman persona. I like the Deadman persona, but I'm more partial to the biker gimmick. I mean, it was always just cool, just this sort of slightly cocky swagger that he had as either face or heel as the Deadman. So, you know, that was something. And number 3, what were your favorite games during 1990 to 1999? Well, you'll be no surprise to know that most of those will be Sonic the Hedgehog games. So, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic & Knuckles, Jurassic Park Rampage Edition, FIFA 97 for both the Sega Mega Drive Genesis in the States and for the first PlayStation, FIFA 98 for the PlayStation 1, mainly because you can control the weather. Haha, I control the universe. And I always like to play football games in the snow. There's something quite, I don't want to say romantic, but there's something extra added to a football game if you're able to play in a winter wonderland. Had to do it. And of course, Sonic Adventure, you know, arguably considered one of the best 3D Sonic games of all time. So, you know, 1999, that was a good year. Oh, I loved Speed Devils for the Dreamcast, and also Chef's Love Shack from South Park, because it was just one of those games where it's just so stupid, it's just so bad and stupid, it's just funny. And WWF Attitude for the Dreamcast. What was there to say? You know, that's just a damn good game. I think, yep, those have been your 3 questions for this week. You know how this shtick works by now. Leave a question in the comment section if you're watching this here on YouTube, Dynamic Night, Facebook, or on River City Gamers. How you doing, by the way, guys? Or leave a question on my Twitter link in the outro. But until again, ask again.